So I got pretty overwhelmed with that. It wasn't my thing, and that it was not bringing me joy. Like, I was not happy doing it. I literally just needed a moment. I needed therapy. I needed time away so I posted my last social media post in March of 2022, and at that time, I gotta say, I was about over social media, tired of posting, tired of all the politicking around the algorithm and all those different things, and I just was like, I'm done. I'm tired of posting. And if you are around here and you know anything about me, you know that I am a content creator and I got tired of posting content on social media. Now, everybody has their own opinion about what social media actually is. To me, Instagram, TikTok, all of those type of platforms that require that daily posting and give you the dopamine hit of just scrolling, laughing, spending a whole hour scrolling a timeline, looking at other people's lives. That is what I consider to be social media. Now, obviously, I'm still on YouTube because I am a YouTuber. And I was still posting YouTube videos during that time, but as far as social media, I just went cold turkey and did not post anymore at all. And I want to kind of talk about what that experience was like and what I learned in that process, especially since I am a content creator and I decided I didn't want to post to social media anymore. So if you're new around here, you don't know who I am, I'm Nakisha. I'm a content creator that teaches other content creators how to make money on social media and on the internet. Specifically on the internet. I don't necessarily speak about social media for this very reason, because it can become so overwhelming. And one of the reasons I started to talk about making money online, not necessarily social media, is because I feel like sometimes social media can kind of be catered to a certain type of person or a certain type of audience or a certain type of, just a certain type of person. Okay. And when you're not that type of person and you're like me, and I know this might not be apparent, but you're a little bit more reserved in how you are, and you can be shy and you can be more introverted, sometimes social media can feel a bit overwhelming, right? It can feel a bit overwhelming and not feel like a natural part of who you are, like it's a forced thing that you're doing. So I decided to start teaching content creators how to make money in other ways outside of having to be on the hamster wheel of social media, because that's one of the things that I learned about social media and why I decided to stop posting over a year ago, because I realized that it was such a hamster wheel and it was literally created and designed for you to just continue to be on it, running, striving for this thing that it's like, okay, so why am I doing this? Am I posting over here with the hopes of a brand seeing me to get a brand deal? Am I posting over here with the hopes of getting a client to purchase my product? Do I really just want to be seen? Am I seeking fame? Like, really, why are you doing this? And I realized that a lot of times people are doing it for those reasons specifically that I just talked about. And it's just a better way. There is a better way, or they're just posting with the hopes of becoming a content creator, becoming known, becoming this. And for me, like, I really didn't care about all that. I did not care about being the known person, being super popular, because I know that I don't need to have 100,000 followers. I don't need to have 1 million followers in order to make a comfortable living on the internet. I don't need that. And so I got pretty overwhelmed with that after having done it for, I think it was 4 years at that point, 3 years, 4 years at that point. And I really just realized that it wasn't my thing and that it was not bringing me joy. Like, I was not happy doing it. Now, what I will say is that some of the relationships that I made on social media, I really did enjoy and really missed those relationships. But I don't know if I'm allowed to say this because it seems that no one really talks about this, but after having gone through the pandemic and having been home with my children and homeschooling and just working through all of my emotions and everything that came with that, I feel like after I literally just needed a moment. I needed therapy. I needed time away to just really like come back to reality. I don't know. There was just something there for me. I needed time away. It was something that was different for me. I had to go through like this self journey of like, okay, what is life now? Is this really what you want to be doing? Because if you're a creator, right, you know, during the pandemic, it got real good. Things got really good for creators. And like brand deals were just doing amazing and things were amazing on YouTube. And then shortly after, like kind of what we're going through now, it was like, okay, what's going on? Like, why am I even posting over here on Instagram? Because the reach is so low. Why? Right? So I really just learned that it was no longer bringing me joy. So I did not want to do it. Then I realized that life was so much better without it. Like, honestly and truly, life was so much better without it. Now, like I said, the relationships that you make and build on social media, they're amazing. And you really can't replace those. But living your life in real life is so much better than posting a life that is just a representative of what you're doing in real life. It just doesn't add up for me. I am a homebody type of person. I am a reserved type of person. I am to myself. You know, I love like the comfort and the peace of my own company. So maybe for me, it's just my comfort zone and my comfort place to just be out the mix. You know, I don't need the validation of other people and of social media. So for me, it was just like, you know what, this feels so good to not have to get up and check in, okay, with nobody every single day. It feels so good to not have to prove that I'm worthy of this brand deal, or prove that I'm worthy of this like, or that this content that I do is like acceptable. You know what I'm saying? For me, so it was just like living life in real life was just so much easier to not have to get up and be a slave to some freaking machine or algorithm every single day. For me, felt so much better. Now, what I will also say is that once you remove something, especially if you're a content creator and you do depend on the internet to make your money, once you realize, okay, I'm taking this away, I'm not doing this anymore, you're forced to find additional ways to do things that you were using social media to do. And you realize that some of these alternative ways are actually better than actually using social media. So for me, it was like, okay, you're not doing Instagram anymore, so what are you going to do instead in order to connect with your audience? And for me, it was continue to maintain my presence on YouTube. Now, there was a point, I gotta say, I was absolutely burned out from YouTube too. I just was burned out in general. However, YouTube is more my speed because I can make a video on my own time and edit that video, put that video up, and that video is working for me for months on end, for weeks on end. Whereas social media is like when you put something up, baby, it is over that day, maybe a week later. Right? It just does not have the same effect that YouTube has. And YouTube is a lot more sustainable, in my opinion. I realize that there is a better way. Okay, you want to grow an audience and you over here on a hamster wheel trying to post every day, Monday through Friday, like the teeny bopper IG girlies are telling you to do. But baby, why not build out a YouTube channel that is going to be working for you when you sleep, it's going to be working for you as long as you're consistent consistently posting, not consistent like every day, like over there on social media, but consistent like once a week, which is more doable for a full-time busy mom that has a whole life going on, right? And so I realized that there's a better way. There is a better way than being on the content creation hamster wheel of social media. And I really just got hooked to that. Like, I was already like, okay, I love it here, right? When it comes to evergreen content and comes to evergreen platforms, I was already loving it there, but I began to appreciate it even more once I stepped away from Instagram. Like TikTok, I realized pretty soon that that just was not my thing. I just didn't want to do it. It was too fast paced for me, and baby, I ain't got time. Okay, I got 4 kids and they fast enough. Okay, TikTok can't keep up with them, and I definitely wasn't trying to keep up with TikTok because I'm over here busy trying to keep up with these babies. Okay, and so I realized that there was just a better way, and that evergreen platforms that continue to serve me, which means my content continued to serve my business after weeks, after months, and after longer than a week, like social media did. I realized that I'd rather do that. I'd rather do that. And then let's talk about just the stress of it all, okay? One thing about social media when you're a content creator, everything is so numbers driven, right? How many subscribers do you got? How many followers do you got? How many likes did this post get? Who commented on it? How many shares does it get? What was the reach looking like? And you're constantly over and over and over and over trying to, hit something higher than what the last post did, or chase after that viral post again, or what did great with your audience, right? And then you get stuck in this loophole of looking at the numbers, looking at the analytics, and trying to outdo the last highest performing post, right? And if you do that, and what the gurus say is like, okay, if that did well, then keep doing that, right? And then you get into this place where you're like constantly trying to do the same video or the same topic over and over and over and over again, and you just be like, I'm tired of that. Like, I don't want to do that no more, right? And so when you get to that place where you just really tired of doing a certain thing, it's like that's when the burnout sets in. The burnout sets in at that point, and you're just like, I don't want to do this no more, because it's no longer fun. It's not fun anymore. It's not fulfilling anymore, because at that point you have turned it into a freaking task. You have turned it into a non-enjoyable task that you're just doing for the sake of an outcome. And when I started social media, that's not why I started. I started to inspire other moms, to help other moms with tips and tricks and hacks and things that I was doing in my life, saying that, you know what, this journey, yes, it may be a little bit tough, but it does not have to be miserable, right? That it can be enjoyable too. And a lot of people want to make you feel like it does not, that it should not be enjoyable, but it can be. So I started it with great intentions. I was enjoying myself, meeting people and all that. And then when it became a task, it was just too much, right? It was too much. And it was like, I was just tired of chasing the numbers and the algorithm. Let's not talk about the algorithm specifically. We're talking to you, IG. Like it was really just ridiculous. At one point in time, you could post something and literally, now, spoiler alert, I eventually came back to social media. I want to say about a month ago. It's been about a month ago. I posted something, and it literally, the reach was absolutely ridiculous. Okay, absolutely ridiculous. I think maybe 23 people in total like this post that I made, and I was just like, see, this is why I ain't got time for this. The reach was literally ridiculous, in the toilet, absolute waste of my time. And I'm like, this is what I remember. This is what I remember Instagram being, and what I remember Instagram doing. And then not only that, this is prior to all the changes that they have made, but I just remember my content being stolen over and over and over again, and Instagram being willing to do nothing about it. And I was just done. I was just like, see, yeah, no, I'm not about to be putting my time and effort into content that you just let people steal and pass off as their own, literally with my whole face on it, and you will do nothing about it. So yeah, I was absolutely done with chasing the numbers, done with trying to appease this algorithm, and just done with the game of social media altogether. I was just absolutely done with chasing it, because see, one thing about YouTube and one thing about my blog and one thing about Pinterest is that while your numbers might not happen today or tomorrow, they're constantly building. They're constantly being pushed out by the different type of algorithm that these search-based platforms have versus this attention-based algorithm that social media has. So for someone like me, who is a busy mom, who has other things going on, who doesn't like the whole of social media anyway, it works so much better for my personality and for my lifestyle. And so that's what I kind of want you to know. If you're a content creator and you're listening to this, you have to look at each one of these platforms and really see how it works for your life, how it works for your business, how it works for the type of person you are, the type of thing that you're doing on social media, because every platform is not for everybody. It's not, and it's okay if you don't want to do a specific thing. It's okay if you don't want to do TikTok. It's okay if you don't want to do Instagram. It's okay if you don't want to do YouTube. You got to pick the platform that works for you and go hard at that and put your all into that. It doesn't have to be a platform that is literally foreign to who you are as a person. Right? It doesn't have to be that. I think this is why I have experienced much more success on YouTube, because this is just more my personality. Again, I can do it when my children are not here, when I can literally have peace and quiet and focus on a video and really just talk from my heart and say what I want to say without any of the distractions, right? Versus, okay, let me craft up a post for Instagram and then let me do the caption and then I gotta go and I gotta engage and I gotta go like other people's stuff and I gotta watch it, and you can't just jump off the platform because they don't like that. They want you to stay on the platform, and I don't have time for that. Absolutely no. But at the end of the day, I definitely think that this social media detox was very, very, very beneficial to my mindset and my thought process when it comes to social media and making money online. I do believe that social media has its place and it's a way to do it without letting it do you. Okay, you can do social media without letting it do you, but I know that a lot of people allow social media to do them instead of them doing social media. You're waking up first thing in the morning. Trust me, I was one of these people. You're picking up your phone, you're going to Instagram to see what other people are doing, what they got going on, what they posted, how their posts are doing, how your post is doing. If any brands reached out to you, what is this looking at? Like, it literally controls you, and there is nothing that should control your mind and control you and control your life like that, to where you're waking up first thing in the morning and you're looking at social media. I could literally be in the bed at night and I would be picking up my phone, just scrolling, let's see what's going on. And it's like, girl, are you silly? Like, you have people in this house right here with you that you could be connecting with and talking to and figuring out how their day went and what they got going on and what they want to do next week and all that. And not to say that I did not do that, but it's just like social media begins to take over your whole mind, take over everything. Like, I know that it is the new television. I really am not a TV person. If you know anything about my journey or anything about me, when I was building my brand in the beginning, there was no TV. I did not watch TV. It was literally, I focused on building my brand. I honed and I spent the extra hours that I had in a day or in a week or in a month on building my brand. It wasn't until the pandemic that I really start getting into TV and watching the Netflix shows and, catching up and seeing on what people are watching. Child, can I be honest? I just watched Insecure. I want to say about a month ago, I finally finished Insecure. I didn't even know what it was. Okay. I knew who Issa Rae was because of social media, but Insecure, I never watched that. It was relatable. It's definitely relatable. I'm gonna say that it's relatable, especially if you've ever been a single woman. It's definitely relatable. But it was just like, oh, y'all just gonna put it all out there like that? Okay, girl. okay, but I just saw Insecure. You know what I'm saying? I didn't watch TV for many years because I was too busy building my brand, right? Sacrificing in the way that you need to sacrifice if you really want to be successful out here. So all that to say that my social media hiatus, that social media detox was much needed, and I would recommend it to anybody who's feeling unclear and unsure about their brand, because one thing social media does, it can put you in a place to where you're comparing yourself, and honestly not just comparing yourself to where you're doubting your genius. Okay, you got everything you need to make this thing work. You have everything you need to be successful out here as a content creator, and it can have you doubting that. It can have you wondering, is this really for me? Do I really have what it takes? And I'm here to tell you, yes, you do, because nobody else on this internet has what you have. Nobody out here has the unique ability that you have, the unique experience, and can bring that to the forefront in the way in which you do it. People ask me all the time, like, is being a content creator too saturated? Is there still room for me? Is this platform saturated? Is that platform saturated? Like, yeah, all of them saturated, but they're not too saturated with you. You know what I'm saying? They're not too saturated for you to get a space in the market, because no matter what it is that you want to do, nobody is going to do it like you. Nobody is going to put the sauce on it like you going to put that sauce on it, right? So I just say, get out here with intention. Get on the right platform for you. Do not have a platform working you. You need to work the platform. So it's so important to pick it carefully. Is YouTube your type of thing? Do you want to be on the hamster wheel of Instagram? Is Pinterest where your people are at? You really got to decide that, and decide a healthy dose of consumption for you. Do not spend like every waking hour making this platform all the, you know what I'm saying, making it everything, because it's not everything. People would have you believe that, oh gosh, if you don't have 10K or 50K over here on Instagram, you can't work with brands, or, you know, you're not gonna be legitimized, or you're not gonna make money of it. That's not true. That's not true. There are other ways. There are evergreen platforms that will consistently push your content out to your people, and you never have to get on a hamster wheel if you don't. So all that to say, I took a 1-year hiatus from social media, and I don't regret it one bit at all. And if you have the capacity, if you feel you need to do the same thing, go on, sis, do the dang thing. Just have a backup plan for when you leave.